τώρα να περάσουμε στην βράβευση του κυρίου Νίκου Λογοθέτη, ο οποίος είναι εκτελεστικό μέλος του Διοικητικού Συμβουλίου στο Libra Group και συνειδητής και πρόεδρος του Διοικητικού Συμβουλίου του Concordia. Ο Νίκολας είναι ένας επιχειρηματίας που διακρίνεται για το πάθος του για την πολιτική και τις διεθνείς υποθέσεις. Ίδρυσε το Concordia μαζί με τον συνεργάτη του Matthew Swift με στόχο να διευκολύνει τη συνεργασία μεταξύ πολλών τομέων, ώστε να αντιμετωπιστούν επαρκώς οι παγκόσμιες προκλήσεις και να συμβάλλει στο σχεδιασμό ενός καλύτερου βιώσιμου μέλλοντος. Η προσήλωση σε αυτό το στόχο και η δέσμευσή του μέσα από συνεργασίες να προσφέρει λύσεις στις διεθνείς προκλήσεις κατέστησαν το Concordia ως ένα από τα εξέχοντα διεθνή κέντρα παγκόσμιων συνεργασιών μεταξύ του ιδιωτικού και του δημόσιου τομέα. Ως πρόεδρος του Διοικητικού Συμβουλίου στο Concordia ηγείται ενός διακεκριμένου συμβουλίου που αποτελείται από κορυφαίους ηγέτες από την πολιτική της επιχειρήσης και τους μη κερδοσκοπικούς οργανισμούς και τον ακαδημαϊκό τομέα. Θα ήθελα να πω ότι είδατε προχθές και χθες διοργάνωσαν ένα καταπληκτικό συνέδριο στην Αθήνα. Τον ευχαριστούμε ιδιαίτερα που διάλεξαν την Αθήνα για την πρώτη τους ευρωπαϊκή εμφάνιση. Το συνέδριο το οποίο διοργανώνουν στη Νέα Υόρκη, νομίζω, it is absolutely second to none. It's amazing. I have to take my hat off to Nikos for what he's doing. But before asking him to come to the podium, I will speak in English. You know that Olga and I are very close. My sister and we work very close together. And that is one of the things that I truly admire, one of the many things that I truly admire in the Logothetis family, how they're all together as a group. I really appreciate the harmony of the whole family working together. And of course, the dedication that they have, the unique dedication, and I also include Nizia, who is here with us. And I also admire the amazing dedication they have to the Greek cause. And I'm also grateful to them for their support of Capital Link. And I'm really humbled and privileged to have him with us today. So let's go for the short video.
At Concordia, we bring people together to tackle some of the most difficult challenges facing the global community, and we do so in a fiercely nonpartisan way. It all starts with a simple goal.
Concordia is giving a voice to those unseen and unheard from all over the world.
Our founders, Matthew Swift and Nicholas Logothetis, high school classmates and lifelong business partners, identified critical gaps in collaboration, geography, and impact.
In our previous work in politics and in business, we saw there was no organization that really focused on the intersection between government and business and NGOs. And so we set out to create an organization that would bring together all three and really focus on the interaction between them.
The issues that we're talking about on a stage at Concordia Summit, or the topics that we're covering at a convening forum in, say, Bogota, Colombia, or Athens, Greece, how does it translate to actual action on the ground addressing some of these issues?
The Concordia Annual Summit has grown since the first convening in 2011. Now we draw attendees and attention from all over the world, alongside the UN General Assembly.
Often people think partnership means you and me just working together. I think this partnership goes a little bit further and goes in the spirit of Concordia, which actually is the Latin word for harmony.
From the beginning, we knew that we wanted active corporate and philanthropic partners. Not just for greater resources, but for greater reach, support, networking, and impact.
You can't find any success where there is not both a growing economy, a good private sector, and an effective government, and they work together in some way.
When I was there, I said to the president, he said, don't leave us in the middle of the river. And I said that we wouldn't, because I do think that there are both public and private ways for the United States to be helpful in all of this.
Obviously, the choice that we made was, yeah, it does matter. It matters to our conscience, it matters to our soul, it matters to, our nation.
Concordia now drives social impact through a collaborative and comprehensive framework.
We start with our convening forums. We start with issues that we talk about at our different forums, our annual summit, the summits that we hold around the world. Based upon that, we evaluate really, is the community interested in this subject? Do we have a community within our space that can enable Concordia to add value on this issue? And so from there, we really look at the issue. We research ways with which public and private sector cooperation and collaboration can address that issue. And as we hit a point of critical mass with both the community, but also asking the right questions of the community, we launch what is called a Concordia campaign.
Concordia launches campaigns focused on using partnerships to solve our most difficult problems, from labor trafficking to sustainable food supply.
Well, that issue for us really came about because we wanted to address and look at and match, really, consumer trends, what consumers were thinking about, and what major food processing companies were also thinking about under the context of humane treatment of livestock. So bringing all of that together, that's really an example where we were able to gather a disparate community of people, celebrity chefs, representatives of the Department of Agriculture here in the United States, leadership from the animal welfare community, all of that community coming together, talking about how you can address an issue of food sustainability and the ethical treatment of livestock.
Concordia's membership brings together the experts from across sectors to solve the pressing problems at hand.
We're not a business advocacy group, we're not a government advocacy group. What we are is an organization that advocates partnerships between those two groups. So there are some problems that exist in this world that cannot be solved by one actor alone. They have to be solved in a partnership.
Concordia is an organization that builds partnerships for social impact. Through our convening forums and also our social impact team, we both convene on a wide array of topics and issues that the world faces today, some of the most intractable issues, and we also develop, based upon that convening and the community that we have, partnerships addressing those issues.
And it really gets down to public-private partnerships. And you're the people in this room gathered here today that can do it. We need you. We need you badly.
Excellent. Well, I have to say that building partnerships for a better future is exactly the theme of the forum. And what happened here the last few days was the Davos of Greece. And the Davos of Greece has a name, Concordia, and Concordia has another name, Nicholas Logothetis and Matthew Swift. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I realize I'm in a dangerous position. I'm the only thing between you and a cocktail reception. So bear with me for a few minutes. I promise I will be brief. Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I want to thank Nicholas and Olga and all of the Capital Link team for organizing this amazing event. I want to congratulate Michael on his award. I don't know you, but I do thank you for providing great cell service when I'm here in Greece. I want to thank you. I want to tell you how much this award means to me personally. It is also my honor to accept this award on behalf of my colleagues at Libra Group and Concordia. This award belongs to me belongs to them as much as it belongs to me, and many of them are here today. We have just finished our first annual Concordia Summit in Europe, which was held in this very room, which I think was a success, and I appreciate all of you who are here. So I know many of you here tonight are visiting from cities and countries all over the world, and in many ways, we all bring to this room and to this incredible evening a part of those special places. No matter where we are in the world, each of us brings our heritage and our roots with us. It's part of what makes our collective human experience so dynamic and interesting. And I'm here to tell you that those of us at Libra are no different. We bring to every day and every experience a mindfulness of our roots here in Greece, a country and a people that are deeply entwined in both our past and our future. It is our sincere hope that these roots allow us to grow and contribute positively in many places around the world, but especially in the place we call home, Greece. Her people, her country, and her promise will always have the most special place in our hearts. We hope we can contribute positively to many places around the world, but Greece, as I said, will always have the most special place in our hearts. Because Greece has given us so much, I pledge that we will continue to regard it as our duty and our honor to do what we can to give back to Greece and its people. So I hope you will allow me to provide a few words about the future for this wonderful country and its inspiring, creative, dynamic people. In much of the debate about the origins of the Greek crisis, there has been little exploration of the middle ground. It seems to have always been a black or white issue. On one side, some outsiders, foreign commentators have said that all the problems have somehow been Greece's fault, or they absurdly attack its people for being lazy or stupid or dishonest. Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, some inside Greece accuse others of a long history of being greedy, selfish, and determined to oppress the people of this country. To be very clear, my view is that none of that is right. And it's obvious that both sides of the debate are hurling language at each other that is insulting, damaging, and demeaning. I firmly believe that nothing positive can come from such negativity, and it has to stop. The time has come to move past all this vitriol and instead turn our focus to what tangible steps are necessary to set Greece on a more productive and promising course for the future. For even if Greece's fate was Greece's fault, an analysis that I entirely reject, then surely anyone with a heart would accept that Greece has suffered enough at this stage, 9 years after the crisis began. A quarter of the economy has vanished. Millions face unemployment and poverty, with more than half of young people without a job. Public services strained and public patience driven beyond the breaking point. And I know those of you here tonight understand how these tangible elements of an economic crisis, lack of jobs, strained public services, lead to something deeper and darker and harder to root out, a collective lack of hope. It's something we're seeing now in refugee populations around the world, and a situation that very often leads people and countries to their breaking points. In addition to addressing these economic tangibles, we need to also find ways to offer Greece hope that tomorrow will be a better day. To put this into a historical perspective, the Greek crisis is at this point both longer and more severe than the Great Depression in the United States. Enough is enough. Greeks have been beaten down. It is now time for them to be lifted up. Both morality and sane economics alike say the country and our global community cannot go on like this. It is time for an end to punishment, an end to severe treatment, an end to despair. What is needed, what is deserved, what is required now is the opposite. Hope, help, compassion. We need real, genuine, sustainable debt relief. We must lay the groundwork for Greeks to build a future for themselves and their families, not just for their creditors. We should see a plan to return Greece to strong and steady economic growth, and we should see it soon. We must make creating jobs and generating wealth not a vague promise for future decades, but our first and only priority right now. Less focus on what Greece owes, more attention on what the Greeks, like all people, are owed: hope, a chance, a future. Let there be no doubt. If the world sets Greece free, then Greece will repay the world with our ideas, our innovation, our energy, and our excitement, as we have throughout our history, and will continue to do time and time again. Let that be our intention and our mission going forward from today. Let us take up the torch for a better, newer, stronger Greece, empowered, liberated, hopeful, resurgent, proud, enthused, and in control of its own destiny. The world has so much to gain from giving the next generation of Greeks a brighter future. I hope you will join me in supporting them starting today. Let us unify around our shared history and push for the future prosperity of Greece. For together, with eyes forward today, I believe we will stand up for the next generation. We will give them back their hopes and ideals. We will stand up for a brighter future for all. Thank you.